Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy and I am on a financial freedom journey with my family. I share all about that and more on my channel. Today we're going to be going over our November net worth and goals video. I share this video every single month to discuss our progress towards our financial goals for the year, as well as our net worth progress for the year as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. I have a lot to talk about, especially with our assets section. So I will explain why there's some differences that you'll probably see. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it for November. So we're talking about November here. All of these numbers are as of November 30th, so the end of November. I do that to just keep like a consistent end of month tracker for all of my goals and net worth. I've been doing this for a few years, all the way back to, I think 2021 was the first year that I had a full year of net worth. So it's been really fun to see our net worth grow over time. Focusing on financial goals. So for November, we were able to finish off my Roth IRA, which was our third financial goal of the year. So we finished that off in November. So we put $1,590 into my Roth IRA. As you can see, early in the year, we worked on finishing our basement fund. That was a goal that we had started in 2023. We've maxed out my husband's Roth IRA, and now we have maxed out my Roth IRA as well. And we also got a start on our emergency fund. So our next and most likely final goal of the year, we probably won't be able to do much with the college savings, which I've talked about in the past. But our final goal for the year is to add $5,000 to our emergency fund. This is a goal that became really important to us when earlier in the year my husband lost his job. So this is pertinent to us. Luckily, he was able to find another job quickly, and it was really the best case scenario, which I'm so grateful for. But it definitely was like a shock to the system, like we better have some emergency savings. So we are working on that. We were able to put $700 in the month of November towards that goal. Now, because my husband lost his job at the end of September, as you can see here, we did not put a lot towards our financial goals in October, obviously, because we didn't know at that time if my husband would have another job, like what was going to happen. So we kind of took it easier in October, and then we revamped it in November. Now that he has a job, he's settled there, all is good. So we were able to put $2,290 towards financial goals in November because of that, which I'm super grateful for. But some of that money was from October, just for transparency. So we have $4,300 left to our emergency fund goal for the year. We are 14% of the way through there. So far this year, we've put $23,700 towards financial goals. Now, I do like to caveat this with, this is just the financial goals that I am tracking separately. This is not including money that we're putting into our brokerage account every single month, which you can see in our budget. It's only $100, but still. And then we're also contributing to our 401ks before tax and also our HSA. So those things are happening behind the scenes, but they're not necessarily things that I track in our tracker, just because I like to track certain things outside of that to make sure that even though we're doing like our baseline investing and things, like I like to go above and beyond. So this is kind of the above and beyond that I'm sharing today. We've got $9,000 left to finish off the goals for the year. Again, we probably, most likely, pretty sure we're not going to get there. But I would at least like to finish off our emergency fund. So we will see how that goes. Now let's go ahead and go down to our net worth, which you will see a major change here. Did we sell all of our cars and we're going to walk everywhere? No, absolutely not. We live in like a moderately rural area, so that would absolutely not work for us. So let me explain what is happening here. So this is something that I've been thinking about doing for quite a while with our cars. I don't know. I just have never loved having cars in my net worth. I've always defended it. So you're probably like, you've always said why you put it in there, which like, they are assets, but I don't know. I just feel like my mind has been changed recently, and I kind of wanted to remove our cars from our net worth, which is a major change for us. So let's go ahead and talk about the rest of our assets, and then when we talk about the cars, I'll explain a little bit more about that. So again, these numbers are all as of November 30th. So home value, I did bump this up. I was going to wait until January, but in light of taking the cars out, I decided to slightly bump this up. Not early. I mean, this is really probably like the accurate value, but I was going to wait until January. I just decided to do it now so that it wasn't a hit to our net worth necessarily as much what we made the change for our cars. So I did bump up our home value to $565. I feel like this is definitely a fair value. Over the last couple of months, I've been talking about the house that is across the street from us that's for sale. It is still for sale, y'all. It is still for sale. They have not sold it yet, but they have it listed way too high, in my opinion, and they listed it way too high initially, and it's been kind of a mess. So that's been interesting to watch that unfold. But I do think $565 is a fair value for our house. I probably won't adjust that again in the future, near future at least. I feel like that's a pretty solid value for the home, so we'll probably leave that way for a while. Next up is our HSA. We do invest part of our HSA, and we have some of it in cash. So it is currently at $10,700. Now, part of that, like I said, is invested. So that does change month to month, like as it's invested. So it is a little bit up and down at times. I feel like it's doing really well right now though. So that's good. And then we do have some of it in cash just in case we need to be able to pull out money for health expenses, because we do use this money. We don't just like let it sit there. We do use it for health expenses in the hopes that we won't use it all, and we typically don't. So, we're still building up the balance here, but like we do also pay. So as you can see here in October, the increase was much less than October to November. That's because we had a couple of bills that had come up in October, so we paid those through our HSA. But we're currently at $10,700. I'm really happy with that. Also, with our health plan that we're on, we do get an employer contribution in January. So we will be getting, I think it's $1,000 to our HSA in January. So this will bump up quite a bit probably in January, which will be nice. Retirement and savings. This is our emergency fund, all of our sinking funds, the current balance of our checking account, my husband's 401k, my 401k, his Roth IRA, my Roth IRA, and our brokerage. I think that's it. Did I say our brokerage already? I might have. Anyways, it's like all of our money basically. It's just easier for me, and just for privacy, I don't want to go into like how much money we have in every single account. So it's just easier to put it all in one. So that value is $367,100. So that did increase significantly from the month prior. Again, we did put money in our emergency fund, and we obviously invested too. So that helped a lot. And car value, like I mentioned earlier, we have decided to remove our cars from our net worth because I don't know. I really don't know why. I just felt like this pull to get rid of it out of here. I just feel like it's not something that we would ever liquidate. And so it kind of feels weird to include it because like, while technically those things are assets to us, and like, I don't necessarily so let me caveat this too, because I don't necessarily feel like you should not include it. I think that it's completely valid to include it. And obviously we have included it for so many years, but I just as our cars are getting older, I just feel like it's more of a hassle to me to have to keep updating or worrying, am I overvaluing them or undervaluing? It's just whatever. We don't have super nice cars, and we never will. That is not something that we value. So we're never going to have a $60,000 car. So I just feel like at this point, it's kind of why are we even including it? We need to have our cars to be able to get around. So it's nothing that we could ever truly liquidate. We could sell our house and be fine. We could move into an apartment. We could rent. We could do a bunch of other things. So our home value, I still do see as a value to us. And it is an equity, we do have equity in the house. And so I do see the value in including that. But something like the cars, I just don't see, we would never outright sell them to get money. That would be the absolute last case scenario for us. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense. But I've just been feeling for a while I don't know why we're including this. It kind of feels dumb to include it because we would never sell them to get money. And they're older cars, they're just decreasing in value every single month. And it's kind of annoying to me to have to update it. And I haven't been updating it. And so they're probably overvalued. So anyway, whatever. Long story short, but we're just going to get rid of them. So you will not see car values in our net worth moving forward. You will not see car value in our net worth in 2025. So that's just something that we personally decided. And we felt like this was a good month to finally just pull the trigger and be we're done. We're not going to include it anymore. So with our car values removed, our net worth still did or our assets, I should say, still did increase in November. Obviously, we did supplement a little bit with increasing our home value slightly, but we were going to do that anyway. Our current assets are $942,800, and our only liability is our mortgage at $352,900. So that is that. And moving down to our net worth by month, I did make a note here that we removed the car value just for like my future self sake, because I think it'll be nice to know that in the future. But our net worth for November was $589,900, which was an increase of $7,300. So we are still on the path of increasing every single month. It obviously has slowed down a little bit, and like obviously we removed the car value here, so it probably would have been higher if we would have left that in, but I felt like that was the right time. So will we get to our $600,000 milestone this year? I don't know, probably not at this point, and that's okay. But like I said, I've just been wanting to get rid of our car values for a while, and it's been something that I've been thinking about, and I was finally just like, let's just do it. Like, there's no point in having it in there anymore. So that brings our change year to date to $139,700. We obviously do not have a milestone to track here because we have not met that 600,000 milestone. We'll see. It could happen in December, but I don't know. We'll see. Definitely could happen, but I'm not crossing my fingers too hard. And annual net increase for the years. Our biggest was in 2021. We had an increase of 155,000, and we're currently at 139. So this is our second largest increase year so far. I'm hoping like maybe it could be our biggest, but I don't know if it's going to jump up that much. If it does, we'll also meet this milestone. So that would be really cool if we did get like a really big increase in December. But like I said, we'll have to see. I don't know what's going to happen. But that is all I have to share for this video. Let me know in the comments down below, what are some of the things that you include in your net worth? Do you include your cars? I know that's like a really contentious debate in the community sometimes. And like I said, I've defended it a lot over the years, but it's just something that I felt like, why are we including it? This is really not something that we would ever like use to have an asset, if that makes sense. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. I would love to talk about it with you there, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye guys.